My wife walked through the front door with a man I'd never met. "Honey, this is Marcus," she said, all smiles. "He's a colleague from work. I invited him for dinner." Marcus extended his hand, firm grip, confident smile, the kind of guy who's used to getting what he wants. "Nice to finally meet you," he said. "Sarah talks about you all the time." I shook his hand, looked him in the eye. "Does she?" Sarah laughed, that nervous laugh she does when she's hiding something. "Marcus just moved to the area. I thought it would be nice to have him over. You don't mind, right?" "Not at all," I said calmly. "Actually, perfect timing." I walked to the living room and picked up the TV remote. "Since we're all here, I thought we could watch something together." Sarah's smile faltered. "Watch what?" I pressed play. The 65-inch screen filled with security footage, crystal clear, time-stamped. Last Tuesday, 2:47 p.m., my driveway, Sarah's car pulling in, Marcus getting out of the passenger seat, both of them walking to my front door. Sarah froze. The wine glass in her hand started to shake. Marcus's face went from confident to pale in about 3 seconds. The footage continued, them entering the house, the timestamp jumping forward. 3:15 p.m., my bedroom. I paused it there. "Funny thing about modern security systems," I said, voice steady as steel. "They record everything, inside and outside. Cloud backup, can't be erased." I turned to Marcus. "So, Marcus, still want to stay for dinner?" If you want to know what happened when I played the rest of that footage and showed them the folder I'd been building for 6 months, hit subscribe, because what came next made them both realize they'd walked into the wrong house. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 39 years old and I live in Austin, Texas. I'm a software engineer. I work from home 3 days a week, which means I'm around the house more than most husbands. That's important. Remember that. My wife, Sarah, is a marketing director at a tech startup downtown. Long hours, lots of networking events, the kind of job that comes with a company card and flexible schedules. We've been married 8 years. No kids, her choice. She wanted to focus on her career first. I supported that. I always supported her. Our house is a modest 3-bedroom in South Austin. Nothing fancy, but it's ours. Fenced yard, 2-car garage, the kind of place where you're supposed to build a life. And I thought we were, until about 6 months ago, when I started noticing things. It started small. New perfume, the kind that's expensive, the kind she'd never bought before. It was on sale, she said when I asked. Then came the gym membership. Sarah had never been a gym person. Suddenly she was going 4 times a week. "I just want to feel healthier," she said. Then the phone, always face down, always on silent, always in her purse or her pocket, never just sitting on the counter like it used to. "Work stuff," she'd say if I asked. "Confidential client information." Alone, each thing was explainable. Together, they formed a pattern.
I'm a software engineer. I solve problems for a living. I look at systems, find the bugs, fix them. So when my marriage started showing bugs, I did what I do best. I investigated. I didn't go through her phone. I didn't hire a private investigator. I did something simpler. I upgraded our home security system. We'd always had a basic setup, a Ring doorbell, a couple of outdoor cameras. I told Sarah I was upgrading for safety. Austin's growing, crime's up, better safe than sorry. She didn't question it. I installed 8 cameras, 2 outside, 6 inside. Living room, kitchen, hallway, home office, garage, and 1 in the bedroom. All of them recording 24/7 to cloud storage. All of them accessible from my phone. All of them completely legal. It's my house. I can record what I want. I didn't tell Sarah about the indoor cameras. I just installed them. For the first 2 weeks, nothing. Just normal life. Sarah getting ready for work, me working from my home office, the dog sleeping on the couch. Then on a Tuesday afternoon, something changed. I was at a client meeting downtown. My phone buzzed with a motion alert. Front door camera, Sarah's car in the driveway, 2:47 p.m. She wasn't supposed to be home. She'd told me that morning she had back-to-back meetings until 6. I opened the app. Watched her car pull in. Watched a man get out of the passenger seat. Tall, well-dressed, confident walk. They went inside together. My hands were shaking as I switched to the indoor cameras. Living room, nothing. Kitchen, nothing. Hallway, there they were, walking toward the bedroom. I switched to the bedroom camera, and I watched my wife bring another man into our bed. I sat in my truck in that parking garage for 20 minutes staring at my phone. Part of me wanted to drive home, burst through the door, confront them. But I didn't, because I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who plans, who documents, who builds a case. So instead of driving home, I saved the footage, downloaded it to 3 separate drives, uploaded it to a private cloud account Sarah didn't know about. Then I drove to a coffee shop, ordered a black coffee I didn't drink, and started planning. Over the next 6 months, I watched it happen 14 more times. Always on days I was supposed to be out. Client meetings, errands, the one time I told her I was driving to San Antonio for a work thing. I'd leave. She'd text him. He'd come over. And I'd watch it all from my phone, sitting in my truck 2 blocks away, documenting everything. I learned his name, Marcus Webb, 34 years old, sales director at a competing firm. I learned his patterns. He drove a black Audi. He always parked on the street, never in the driveway after that first time. I learned that my wife was a better liar than I'd ever imagined. She'd come home after these visits and kiss me hello, ask about my day, make dinner like nothing had happened. And I'd smile and play along, because I was building something, not just evidence for a divorce, a reckoning.
I didn't just collect video footage. I documented everything. I pulled our phone records. We were on a shared plan. Hundreds of texts to a number I didn't recognize, Marcus's number. I checked our credit card statements, charges at hotels I'd never been to, restaurants I'd never heard of, all on days she said she was working late. I even pulled her car's GPS history. Modern cars track everything. I could see every place she'd driven for the last year. The pattern was undeniable. I created a spreadsheet. Dates, times, locations, expenses. I created a folder on my laptop. Evidence. Inside, video files, screenshots, receipts, GPS logs, phone records. Everything organized, everything time-stamped, everything admissible. I wasn't just catching her. I was building a prosecution. I didn't tell anyone, not my friends, not my family, not even my lawyer, not yet. I just watched and waited and planned the perfect moment. That moment came last week. Sarah came home from work on a Thursday evening, unusually cheerful. "Hey, so I have a favor to ask," she said. I looked up from my laptop. "What's up?" "There's this guy from work, Marcus. He just moved to Austin, doesn't know many people yet. I thought it might be nice to have him over for dinner, be welcoming." My heart rate didn't change. My expression didn't shift. "Sure," I said. "When?" "Tomorrow night? I'll cook. It'll be fun." She smiled. That same smile I'd fallen in love with 10 years ago. The same smile I'd watched on camera as she betrayed me 14 times. "Sounds great," I said. That night, I made my final preparations. I called my lawyer, a sharp woman named Rebecca who specialized in divorce cases. "I need you on standby tomorrow night," I said. "I'm going to need papers drawn up fast." "What's happening tomorrow night?" "The end of my marriage," I said, "and I'm going to make sure it's documented." I copied all the evidence files onto a USB drive, backed them up again, sent them to Rebecca's secure server. Then I did one more thing. I set up my laptop in the living room, connected to the TV via HDMI, and queued up the footage. All of it, organized by date, ready to play. Friday evening, Sarah cooked. Pasta, salad, garlic bread. The house smelled amazing. She'd even bought wine, expensive wine. "I want to make a good impression," she said. I helped set the table. 3 plates, 3 wine glasses. "You seem calm," I said. "Why wouldn't I be?" She kissed my cheek. "I don't know. I thought you might be weird about having someone from work over." "Not at all. I'm looking forward to meeting him." The doorbell rang at 7 p.m. sharp. Sarah opened the door, all smiles. "Marcus, come in." He stepped inside, tall, well-dressed, confident, just like in the videos. He extended my hand. "Nathan, right? Nice to finally meet you. Sarah talks about you all the time." I shook his hand. Firm grip. Eye contact. "Does she?" I said. Sarah laughed nervously. "Marcus just moved here from Dallas. I thought it would be nice to have him over, show him some Austin hospitality." "Absolutely. Make yourself at home."
The irony wasn't lost on me. We sat down for dinner. Sarah served the pasta, poured the wine. Marcus made small talk, asked about my work, complimented the house. "You've got a great place here," he said. "Must be nice working from home." "It has its advantages," I said. "I get to see everything that happens here." Sarah's hand froze halfway to her wine glass. Marcus didn't notice. "I bet. I'm in sales, so I'm on the road a lot. Wish I could work from home more." "I'm sure you spend plenty of time in comfortable places," I said. Sarah's eyes darted to me. "Nathan." "Actually," I interrupted, setting down my fork, "since we're all here, I thought we could watch something after dinner." Marcus smiled. "Sure. What did you have in mind?" "Home movies," I said. After dinner, I cleared the plates, while Sarah and Marcus moved to the living room. "Nathan, you don't have to do that," Sarah called. "Come sit." "Just grabbing something," I said. I walked to where my laptop sat, already connected to the TV. "I thought we could watch some footage from our new security system," I said. "I upgraded it a few months ago. Really impressive technology." Sarah's face went pale. "Nathan, I don't think—" "It'll just take a minute," I said. I pressed play. The TV screen filled with footage, crystal clear, 1080p, time-stamped in the corner. Tuesday, March 14th, 2:47 p.m. Sarah's car pulling into the driveway, Marcus getting out of the passenger seat, both of them walking to the front door. The living room went silent. On screen, they entered the house. The camera angle switched to the hallway. Sarah and Marcus walking toward the bedroom, laughing, his hand on her lower back. I let it play. Sarah stood up, face white. "Turn it off." "Why?" I asked calmly. "We're just getting to the good part." Marcus was frozen on the couch, wine glass halfway to his mouth. The footage continued. Bedroom camera now. I paused it before it got too explicit. "That's enough, I think, unless you want to see the rest." Sarah's hands were shaking. "Nathan, I can explain." "Can you?" I asked. Looked at Marcus. "Can you?" Marcus set down his wine glass carefully. "Look, man, I didn't—" "Didn't what? Didn't know she was married? Funny, because you're sitting in my house right now. You shook my hand. You complimented my pasta." I picked up the remote and scrolled through the footage menu. "This is March 14th, I said, but there's more. March 21st,
April 3rd, April 18th. I kept scrolling. May 2nd, May 16th, June 7th. Each date a new thumbnail, each thumbnail the same scene. 14 times, I said. 14 times you brought him into my house, into my bed. Sarah was crying now. Nathan, please. Please what? I asked. Please don't show the footage? Please don't tell anyone? I pulled out my phone. Too late. I've already sent copies to my lawyer and to your HR department. Marcus stood up. Whoa, wait. Sit down, I said. Not loud, not angry, just final. He sat. I opened a folder on my laptop. Security footage is just the start. I pulled up a spreadsheet. Here's 6 months of phone records, 1,247 text messages between you two. Want me to read some of them out loud? Sarah's face was in her hands. Here's credit card statements. $4,300 in hotel charges, $2,100 in restaurant bills, all on our joint card. I looked at Marcus. Did you know she was using my money to pay for your dates? He didn't answer. Here's GPS data from her car. Every location, every date. It's amazing what modern technology tracks. I closed the laptop. I've documented everything. Every lie, every betrayal, every time you looked me in the eye and pretended everything was fine. Sarah finally looked up. Why didn't you just confront me? Because I wanted to be sure, I said. I wanted evidence that couldn't be denied, couldn't be explained away, couldn't be spun into somehow being my fault. I looked at both of them. You thought you were being careful, parking on the street, only coming over when I was out, deleting texts. I smiled, but you forgot something. This is my house, my network, my security system. I pulled out a USB drive. Everything's backed up, multiple locations, cloud storage. Even if you destroyed every device in this house, the evidence still exists. Marcus stood up again. I should go. Yeah, I said, you should. He walked to the door, stopped, turned back. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. No, you're not, I said. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. He left. The door closed. Sarah and I stood in the living room, the security footage still paused on the TV. What happens now? She asked quietly. I pulled out another folder. This. Divorce papers. Already filled out, already signed by me. My lawyer will be in touch Monday morning, I said. I'm asking for the house, since you clearly don't respect it. You can have your car, your clothes, and whatever you can fit in your trunk. Nathan! I'm done, I said. I've been done for 6 months. I just needed to make sure you couldn't spin this, couldn't make me the bad guy, couldn't take half of what I've built. I picked up my laptop. I'm staying at a hotel tonight. I'll be back tomorrow to change the locks. You can't just kick me out. Actually, I can. Check the deed. This house is in my name. I bought it before we got married. You have no legal claim to it. Her face crumpled. I made a mistake. No, a mistake is forgetting to buy milk. A mistake is being late to dinner. What you did was make a choice. 14 times. I walked to the door, stopped, turned back. One more thing. That footage, I'm keeping it. If you try to claim I'm lying, if you try to drag this out, if you try to take anything that's mine, I'll release it. All of it. You wouldn't. Try me. I left. Drove to a hotel, checked in, sat on the edge of the bed, and finally let myself feel it. Not anger, not sadness, relief. Because for 6 months I'd been living a lie, pretending I didn't know, pretending everything was fine. Now it was over, and I had the evidence to prove exactly who destroyed what. The next morning, I called a locksmith, changed every lock in the house, front door, back door, garage. I called the security company, changed all the access codes, removed Sarah's phone from the authorized devices. I called the bank, froze our joint accounts, opened new ones in my name only. I called the credit card companies, reported the cards as stolen, disputed the hotel and restaurant charges as fraudulent. By noon, Sarah had no access to the house, the money, or the accounts. By 2 p.m., she was calling my phone nonstop. I didn't answer. Monday morning, Rebecca filed the divorce papers. By Tuesday, Sarah had hired a lawyer. By Wednesday, her lawyer called Rebecca. "My client would like to negotiate," he said. Rebecca put him on speaker. "Negotiate what?" "Mr. Cross is willing to agree to a non-contest divorce in exchange for Mr. Cross not releasing the security footage." Rebecca looked at me. I shook my head. "Mr. Cross isn't threatening to release anything. He's simply maintaining evidence of adultery, which is relevant in Texas divorce proceedings. My client is concerned about her reputation. She should have thought about that before she brought her affair partner into the marital home 14 times, Rebecca said. "We're not negotiating. Mrs. Cross can sign the papers as written, or we can go to court and present all the evidence publicly." Silence on the other end. "We'll sign," he finally said.
The divorce was finalized in 60 days. Sarah got her car, her clothes, and her 401k. I got the house, my retirement accounts, and my self-respect. No alimony, no splitting of assets. Clean break. The security footage never went public. I didn't need it to. The threat of it was enough. 3 months later, I was having coffee with my brother. "How are you doing?" he asked. "Better," I said. "Honestly, I feel like I can breathe again." "You think you'll date again?" I shrugged. "Maybe, eventually. Right now, I'm just rebuilding." "Rebuilding what?" "Trust," I said. "In myself, in my judgment, in the idea that not everyone is lying." He nodded. "For what it's worth, I think you handled it perfectly." "I handled it the only way I knew how," I said, "with evidence." 6 months after the divorce, I got a message on LinkedIn from Marcus. "I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted you to know Sarah and I aren't together. We tried for a while after everything, but it didn't work. I think we both realized what we had was built on lies. Anyway, I'm sorry for my part in what happened. You deserved better." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it without responding, because some apologies come too late, and some bridges aren't worth rebuilding. A year later, I sold the house. Too many memories, too many cameras recording things I didn't want to remember. I bought a condo downtown, smaller, simpler, clean slate. I kept one thing from the old house, the security system hard drive, not because I wanted to watch the footage, because I wanted to remember the lesson. Trust, but verify. Love, but protect yourself. And never, ever ignore the bugs in the system. I met someone new. Her name is Rachel. She's a teacher. She's kind, honest, and when I told her about the divorce, she didn't pry. "Everyone has a past," she said. "What matters is what you do with it. We've been dating for 3 months. It's slow. It's careful. It's real. And for the first time in years, I'm not checking cameras or looking for patterns. I'm just living." People ask me if I regret how I handled it. The answer is no. Could I have confronted Sarah the first time? Sure. Could I have skipped the dramatic dinner reveal? Probably. But I'm a software engineer. I solve problems with data. And the data was clear. My wife was cheating. My marriage was over. I just made sure I had the proof before I pulled the trigger.
Here's what I learned. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Document everything. In the age of technology, evidence is everywhere. Don't react emotionally. Build your case. Plan your exit. And most importantly, respect yourself enough to walk away from people who don't respect you. Sarah thought she could have it all: the stable husband, the exciting affair, the comfortable life. She thought I'd never find out, or if I did, I'd be too weak to do anything about it. She was wrong. The security footage is still saved. 3 copies, 3 locations. I'll probably never watch it again, but I'll never delete it either, because it's a reminder. Not of what I lost, but of what I refused to accept. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever had someone lie to your face, if you've ever had to choose between confrontation and documentation, this one's for you. Comment, "I chose myself," if this story hit home. Hit subscribe for more stories about the quiet power of knowing when to walk away. Because the best revenge isn't showing them the footage, it's showing them